All right. Welcome back to the Ball Knowers 101 podcast. I might need to change the name of this, but I don't know. It kind of seems a little bit silly to me, but who knows? Maybe we'll stick with it. But welcome back. Today is episode 4, I'm pretty sure. We're going to be back on the topic of Michigan basketball and March Madness, baby. We are here. It's March. I filled out one of my brackets yesterday, but today on this, I will also fill out my podcast. I'll be going through a couple of my picks, and then I'll also be talking about Michigan basketball, how I think they're going to do in the tournament, and also our Big Ten tournament, and how we did there. So let's get straight into it. So we're going to start off immediately with um, how Michigan did against Purdue. It was a rough one, that's for sure. I we This was a winnable game, but Purdue wanted it more. Trey Kaufman ran. He was a dog, 20 points, 10 for 15. He's always good. Oscar Clough, he had 21, 7 of 11. Like, Braden Smith, obviously, he had a solid game, 6 for 12 with 14 and 11 assists. Fletcher Lawyer, obviously, their sniper, 3 for 4, 14 points. Yeah, he was pretty good. He annoys me. Um, they didn't really have too many other guys play. I mean, Jack Benter played a little bit with 7 points, but yeah. And then as far as us, we could not shoot the ball, at least from 3-point range. Uh, Mraz Mraz Johnson's been looking kind of iffy lately. I don't know what's been going on with him. Like he was a dominant force in the paint. I feel like I haven't seen that out of him in the past couple of games. Voice crack. He only had 8 points, 3 for 5, 2 of 2 from free throw, only 4 rebounds. Yaxel had 20 points. He was 8 for 14, 4 of 7 from 3-point range with 5 rebounds and an assist. Ademara, he was all right, 14 points, 7 of 9, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks. Namari Burnett, he actually shot decent, 2 for 5 from three, 12 points, 4 rebounds. Elliot Cadeau, he needs to make more shots, man. 10 points, 4 of 12, 1 of 5 from the 3-point range, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And he only had 10 assists. Like, not only, he had 10 assists, which is nice, but. And then our bench guys were not productive whatsoever. Roddy Gale only had 2 points off the bench. Will Cheddar had zero. Trey McKinney looked super off. He only had 6 points. He was 2 of 8, 0 for 2 from three, which is so unlike him. But yeah, let's go here. Yeah, they had 22 free throws to our 6. That was one of the main keys. I'm not gonna bring up the refs or anything about that because we shot ourselves in the own foot. Okay, we did not deserve to win this game. Dang, they only took 14 threes. We took 24. We shot 29. They shot 28%. Oh, we out rebounded them on offensive and defensive boards. They had more assists than us. Blocks, they had more. They had more steals. We had way more turnovers. They had more points off turnovers. Um, we had more fouls. But yeah, that's this. That's just the way it goes sometimes, man. I mean, we won the Big Ten regular season championship, so I'm not too upset about it. Honestly, I kind of like that we lost this game only because I feel like it will give us more motivation for when we go into the NCAA tourney. I feel like it's ours to lose. I feel like there's not too many other teams that give us a run for our money, and I'll go into that when I start making my bracket. But yeah, but props to Purdue, man. Props to Braden Smith. He deserved it his last year. But yeah, he definitely deserved it. And then the rewards, Big Ten awards. Michigan took home 3 of them. Ademara, he got Defensive Player of the Year. Dusty May, he got Coach of the Year through the media. I think he should have won it outright, but Fred Hoiberg from Nebraska, he's a solid coach, so I can see him winning it as well. He deserved it too. And then Yaxel Lendeborg, Player of the Year. Um, I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm glad he won it. I think he was deserving of it, but I don't know. I felt like Keaton Wagler had better stat line than him, unless I'm wrong. Let me see if I can. I want to see if it shows the candidates for it because I want to see if it shows the actual. Here we go. Maybe. Yep. There we go. Let's come on. Show. I want to see the guy's stats. Anyways. Um. That's media. Okay, let's do coaches on. Okay, so Yaxel was player of the year. Ademara, defensive. Keaton Wagler, freshman of the year. He definitely deserved it. Braden Frager, Nebraska, six man. Definitely deserved it. Fred Hoiberg, he deserved it. I could see that. Assistant coach, I really don't know about assistant coaches. But first team, Keaton Wagler, Illinois. Yaxel Lenneborg, Michigan. Jeremy Fears, I can't stand that dude. I don't know if he deserved it, but I guess. Michigan State. Price Sanford, Nebraska. Braden Smith, Purdue. Yeah, that's a stacked team. Second team, Lamar Wilkerson, Indiana, Bennett Sturts, Iowa, Nick Martinelli, Northwestern, Bruce Thornton, Ohio State, Nick Boyd, Wisconsin. That's another solid team. I could see Bruce Thornton being switched up here, but you had Braden Smith and Keelan Wagler and Jeremy. I feel like he could be switched with Jeremy Fears, but that's just me being biased because I hate MSU. Third team, Rez Johnson, yep. Ademara, Michigan, yep. Tyler Bilodeau, I don't know how to say that. UCLA. Haynes Steinbach, Washington. John Blackwell, Wisconsin, yep. Honorable mention, David Mirkuch, Illinois. Jackson Kohler, Michigan State, yep. Cade Tyson, Minnesota, yep. Sam Hoiberg, Nebraska, yep. Rank Mass, Nebraska. Drake Hoffman, Ren, yep. Purdue. Donovan Dent, UCLA, yep, I can see that. All freshman team, David Mirakovic, Illinois, yep. Keaton Wagler, definitely, Illinois, yep. Trey McKinney, Michigan, of course. Braden Frager, Nebraska. Haynes Steinbach, Washington. What's crazy about Trey is that he got on a freshman team and he came off the bench. I think he was averaging 10 off the bench or something, maybe 9. Close to it. All defensive team. You got uh, Kylan Boswell, Illinois, Morris Johnson, Michigan, at a Yaxel Lindeborg, Michigan, at a Mara, Michigan, Sam Weber, Michigan, Nebraska. We dominated in the stats, man. We did. We put belt when it came to the awards. But I wanted to see. I don't think one of them's gonna tell me. Oh shoot. I want to see like the other guys' stats, like the other candidates. Big Ten Player of the Year candidates. Yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this shows me. AC no brainer is Cameron Boozer. Like, come on. SEC. Yeah. Slowly. Here we go. Big Ten. Get out of here. Yeah, I know Keaton Wagler is up there. He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 42% from 3-point range. Nice. And he's a freshman. Yaxel, 14 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.4 blocks, 1.2 steals, 57% effective field goal percentage. Yep. Why was Jeremy Fears in it? 15.1 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, 9 assists per game. Yeah, dude, no. Okay. Looking at it, I think it could have been Lenneborg or Wagler. I think Lenneborg deserved it just a little bit more because he did everything on the floor. He was defensive beast and offensive. Like, yeah, I could definitely see that. So maybe I wasn't wrong. Maybe Yaxel does deserve it. I mean he does deserve it, but deserved it a little bit more than I thought. Okay. Let's get into March Madness, fellas. Let's get into my picks. I already made a bracket on my phone. Let me go see my final four for this one. I might change it up on this bracket. I don't know yet. But on my phone, when I did it, I picked Michigan to win it all. Bias, I know. But I had Duke and Florida, and then Gonzaga versus Michigan in my final four. And I can't remember if I had us playing Florida or Duke in the final. But yeah. All right, let's get in. Let's start in the East. Duke Duke versus Siena. Holy cow, 3 million to 60,000. Wow. Yeah, guys, I think this is wraps, fellas. We're just gonna go ahead and pick Duke. That game's wraps. Starting in the East, so Duke over Siena. Ohio State TCU, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. You see, I can't stand Ohio State, so it would pain me to pick them. Let's see, let's preview this. Ooh, a lot of people are picking OSU to win this one. TCU's 22 and 11, OSU's 21 and 12. OSU's the 8 seed, TCU's the 9 seed. Um, I just think OSU has a little bit more star power, if I'm being completely honest, but oh my gosh. Ohio State, you got some questionable losses, my friends. But, I mean, OSU beat Purdue, Wisconsin, and Indiana over the final month, and then they only lost by 4 to Michigan. I don't know. This one's a toss-up. Versus top 25 teams, Ohio State's 2-8, TCU's 3-6. I like OSU for the fact of it's Bruce Thornton's final year. He just became the all-time leading scorer for them. I think he's gonna have a killer game, and I think they're gonna overpower TCU. I truly believe that. St. John's versus Northern Iowa. St. John's. I mean, come on. Kansas versus California Baptist Lancers. Interesting. No, barely anyone is picking California. Holy cow, they got a guy averaging 23. Dominique Daniels for California Baptist. Okay. I mean, obviously, they're. Ey, I don't know. It's definitely gonna be Kansas, right? Right? Yeah. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, bless me. Um, I definitely am gonna go Kansas here. However, if they sub Darren Peterson out with like the whole second half to go, this may be a whole different ball game. Let's see if he actually wants to play the entire game. I don't know what the entire story is there. Like, does he like just not want to play because of fun, or like he's not like what's the dealio there? What's why is he not playing? Anyways, Louisville versus South Florida. This one could be an upset. This one, I could see an upset in. I really could. I don't think, I don't know. Louisville's just not up there for me. I mean, they beat Kentucky, they beat Indiana. Who cares? They lost to Tennessee, Duke, Virginia, Duke. Just yeah. Even ESPN's saying it. They're the biggest question marks heading into this. I mean, they're favored 76 to 24 to win. Um, USF averages more points per game. Um, USF went 15 and 3 in their conference. This might be my first upset pick, not gonna lie. I mean, they look solid. Um, beat Utah, lost to Bama. I don't know. This one's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. I think I'm gonna go Louisville. I just I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard to pick the upsets. It really is. It's so incredibly difficult. But again, I think Louisville's got it. Michigan, North Dakota State. Michigan State versus North Dakota State. Every bone in my body wants to pick North Dakota State just because it's Michigan State. But who knows? Bison won a program record, 27 games. Okay. That's not bad, North Dakota. 95 to 5% odds. Incredible. Oh, I don't know. It's probably going to be Michigan State, unfortunately, and I hate picking Michigan State, but yeah. I think Michigan State's going to wipe the floor with them, to be honest. UCLA versus UCF. I kind of want to pick UCF, not going to lie. But then again, UCLA has Donovan Dent and Tyler Bilodeau. I think that's how you pronounce it. UCLA is just so questionable. Like when they're off, they are so off. Like it is a like friggin' it is a roller coaster if you're a UCLA fan. So if you're a UCLA fan, I am so sorry. 64 to 36 odds. Ugh. Let's see here. 3 and 4 versus. I think I'm gonna pick UCF. I'm picking UCF. I think there's an upset there. I really do. Furman versus Connecticut. I really want to pick Furman just for jokes. But nah, Connecticut's gonna win. UConn's always solid. They are always solid. I don't see them losing at all. Oh my gosh. Harris Reed, former Michigan. Yeah, he's on UConn. I didn't know that. That's kind of funny. 98 to 2 odds. Sheesh. I kind of want to pick Furman just for the jokes. But nah, UConn's gonna freaking wipe the floor with them. All right, let's get down into. Okay, let's go back up. Let's go into the West. Arizona, Long Island. Not gonna go into too much detail about that. Arizona by a million. Villanova, Utah State. This is a tough draw for Utah State, in my opinion. I think Nova is just a super well coached team. Utah State is not in the best conference. Really? Utah State is favored to win? Okay. Maybe Utah State's a lot better than I thought. I don't see it though. I think Nova's gonna win. I don't, I just don't see it. I think Nova's gonna win. I think it'll be a close game for sure, but I think Nova will just outcoach them. Wisconsin versus High Point. I don't really know too much about High Point's 30-4. What the flippity doo dah day? Is this a potential upset? Oh God, never mind. Actually, hmm, might be closer than we think. That it might be closer than we think. That's a tough draw, I feel like. Maybe I'm just hyping it up. Maybe it's just I don't know too much, but I think that's a tough draw for Wisconsin. I think they'll get the job done, but I think that's a tough draw for them. Hawaii versus Arkansas, 4 versus 13. Yeah, Darius Akuff is gonna go off for Arkansas. That's an easy pick. BYU, I'm picking BYU no matter what. Gonzaga versus Kennesaw State. Gonzaga. Miami versus Missouri. In my other bracket, I picked Miami to beat not Miami. I picked Missouri to beat Miami, and I think I'm gonna do it again. I just Trey Donaldson's on Miami though, former Michigan legend. I like Missouri though. I just do. I've always been an advocate for Missouri, probably because I have a buddy or two that lives out there. Shout out Gabe. I'm gonna pick Missouri, bro. I think Missouri will get the upset there. It's not too big of an upset, but who knows? Purdue versus Queens. Not even gonna look at it. That's Purdue all day. Purdue got the 2 seed, really? Okay, okay. All right. Let's go down to the South region. Yeah, Florida. That's an easy pick. Clemson, Iowa. That is a very, very good first round game. This one's gonna come down to the wire. I truly believe it's gonna come down to the wire. I think Iowa's better, and I'm gonna pick Iowa to win. But Clemson can definitely give them a run for their money. Iowa's a good defensive team. They are. We only won by 3 against them. I'm picking Iowa. I think they'll hand it to Clemson. Not gonna lie. Vanderbilt versus McNeese. Mr. Aura manager is not on McNeese anymore. So Vandy. Nebraska Troy. Nebraska. I'm sorry. That's just an easy pick. All right. I am picking this upset. I don't care. I do not care, North Carolina fans, but I think VCU. That's a clear upset right there. That's just what I feel. I know UNC is Caleb Wilson. I know. UNC did beat Duke. I know. But again, they lost to Duke also 76 to 61 before they beat them 71 to 68. I think that was just a, not gonna lie, lucky game. I think this is upset territory right here, and I think VCU is gonna pull it off. So I got VCU. Um, Illinois versus Penn. Illinois is gonna wipe the floor with them, so I'm gonna pick Illinois. St. Mary's versus Texas A&M. Um, this one's a coin flip. This one is a coin flip, but St. Mary's lost to Vanderbilt, Boise State, Gonzaga, Santa Clara, but they also beat Gonzaga. I don't know. 69 to 31 odds? Really? I'm picking Texas A&M. I'm picking A&M. I think they're going to get the upset. Not too big of an upset, but I think they'll get the upset. Houston, Idaho. Houston. That's come on, guys. Midwest region. Here we go. Michigan. Yes. No debate. Georgia versus St. Louis. Um, this is an interesting one for sure, but I think Georgia's gonna win. I think this was a tough draw for St. Louis. I think I think it's Georgia all the way in this game. I don't see how St. Louis is gonna hold up against them. So I'm gonna go Georgia there. Texas Tech versus Akron. I kind of want to pick the upset, but Texas Tech has too much star power. Christian Anderson, he's a beast. I got Texas Tech. Alabama versus Hofstra Prod. Again, Bama is gonna overpower them. Oh, Miami of Ohio is a play-in game versus SMU. Are we serious? Really? Hold on. Hold on. I'm looking this up because I need to know when this game is. So they play. Okay, they play Wednesday. They play Wednesday to play in. Really? Okay. I like. I think either Miami, Ohio, or SMU will upset Tennessee. Not gonna lie. Wow, that's interesting. I thought Miami, Ohio got in like for sure. I didn't know they have a play-in game. What? I'm picking the upset no matter what. Who plays Tennessee there? I'm picking the upset. Virginia, Wright State, Virginia. Kentucky versus Santa Clara. That's an interesting one. Kentucky's having an odd year. Not gonna lie. Santa Clara lost to Gonzaga multiple times. Oh, I don't know. I really want to pick the upset. This is what's so difficult about March Madness. I like Kentucky, just the experience they have. Iowa State, Tennessee State, that's Iowa all day. Scroll back up to the top, back to the East. Now we got number one Duke versus number eight Ohio State. Number one Duke is going to throttle number eight Ohio State. I'm sorry, OSU fans. You can be mad at me all you want. Duke is loaded. That's too much star power. No one on Ohio, they don't have any defenders on Ohio State that's going to stop Cameron Boozer. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. St. John's versus Kansas. That's an interesting one. For me, it all depends on Peterson this game. That's what it's going to come down here. Come down to. Jeez, that was bad. I think that's what it's going to be. And oh, this is what I hate. Um, about to flip a coin. Um, I don't know. I think. Wait, who's the coach of? I'm stupid. Nate Johns, basket coach. Is it still Rick Pitino? Okay, I thought so. I just didn't know for sure. I think St. John's. I think Rick Pitino is gonna have a game plan, and I think they're gonna win it. Michigan State versus Louisville. Michigan State. I unfortunately, I hate to pick that. I hate to pick that one. I really do, but I think Michigan State will beat Louisville. UCF, UConn. Sorry, UConn's just better. Arizona, Villanova. I don't see Arizona losing until at least the Final Four, so Arizona's going to throttle them. Ooh, Wisconsin versus Arkansas. That's an interesting one for sure. See, when it comes to Wisconsin, it all comes down to their 3-point shooting. It really does. It comes down to their 3-point shooting and their defense. If they are on fire from three, no team can beat them. Kind of Michigan beat them in the Big Ten tournament because they were nailing every three. Thank you, Yaxel Lendeborg. But I'm biased towards the Big Ten. I know. I'm picking Wisconsin. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. Essentially for the reason of, will Wisconsin be hot? Will Wisconsin come out firing? And if they're not, it's game over right there. So I'm gonna pick Wisconsin there. BYU Gonzaga Gonzaga. I'm I'm sorry. AJ can only carry you so far, and Gonzaga is 30-3. Like, come on. AJ can only carry you so far. I got Gonzaga. Missouri versus Purdue. I'm picking Missouri. I think Missouri's a dark horse. I do. I'm probably gonna get flamed for that, and Miami's probably gonna win first round because I'm doing this. But Missouri's my dark horse, man. I think they're better than a lot of people give them credit for. Purdue, we know how they like to choke, so I'm gonna go Missouri there. That's what I like there. Down to the south, down to the south, boys. Florida, that's an easy no-brainer. They're gonna destroy Iowa. I'm sorry. Florida's got the experience. They've been here before. Vandy, Nebraska. That's a close one. That's a close one. This one, it's just interesting, especially because the way Vandy's been playing. Vandy's really good. They won the SEC championship, right? They won, right? Oh no, Arkansas won. Okay, they were in the final though. Okay, that makes more sense. Um, Nebraska's good, but I feel like Nebraska's not as good as everyone's saying they are. So I'm gonna go Yeah, no, yeah, no. I'm going Nebraska. I'm going Nebraska. Big Ten favoritism, bias. I don't care. I'm going Nebraska. I think they'll get that. I think they'll get the W there. Illinois versus VCU. Illinois. Sorry, VCU. I know I picked you to upset North Carolina, but that's as far as you're going. Texas A&M versus Houston. Houston loves to choke, guys. I'm just saying. They love to choke it. They really do. But I don't know. Maybe Texas A&M is. Never mind. I just saw all these losses. Uh, no, I gotta pick Houston. I gotta pick Houston. Back to the Midwest. Michigan versus Georgia. Michigan. No discussion. Texas Tech, Bama, Texas Tech. That I refuse to believe Bama's going to win that. I think Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech has too much star power between JT Toppin and Christian Anderson. I mean, yeah, it's all on my screen, but I just think Texas Tech is going to get into March, and I think they're going to figure it out. I think they're going to be like, oh, we know how to play basketball now. So I think Texas Tech beats Bama. Miami of Ohio or SMU versus Virginia. I kind of want to pick the upset. But the way Virginia played against Duke the other night makes me pick Virginia. So I'm going to go Virginia there. Iowa State versus Kentucky. That's an interesting one. I mean, Iowa State in the beginning of the season, they looked like top team, but then they just kept losing and losing and losing. Hmm, 66 to 34 odds. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Iowa State. I feel like that's the safe pick. All right. Duke versus St. John's. Hmm. That's an interesting one just because of the coaching matchup. And of course, everyone's going to pick Duke. It's just who's gonna guard Cam Boozer? That's my problem. I, that's that. Senior four. Mm, obviously, Duke is favored. I really would like to pick the Duke upset because I don't like Duke going that far. I hate picking Duke to go this far in the tournament, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick Duke. Arizona's gonna beat Wisconsin again. I don't see Arizona losing anytime soon. Michigan State versus UConn. I see UConn winning that. I think that's as far as Michigan State's gonna go. I don't. I think UConn is just a better team. I think they're better coached, better prepared. That's probably gonna be making a lot of people mad, but I don't care. Gonzaga versus Missouri. I'm sorry, Missouri, but that's where your run ends. That's where we're tapping out. Throw the flag. That's where it's done. I'm sorry. That's just how it's gonna be. Um, back down to the south. Florida versus Nebraska. Call me insane. I do not care. Call me insane. I'm picking Nebraska. I'm picking them. I know. And everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? I think Nebraska can pull off an upset here. I really do. Yes, Big Ten bias. I don't give a crap. But yeah, I just think Nebraska. I just think Fred. I think Fred Hoiberg's going to come up with a game plan and beat Florida. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be back and forth all game. But I think Nebraska can do it. Illinois versus Houston. Again, I brought up Houston likes to choke. I'm picking Illinois. I like Illinois. I just do. Really, people are picking Houston over Illinois? That's kind of crazy. It's a 56 to 44 odds. That's not bad. I'm picking Illinois just because I've seen the way Illinois has played this year more than Houston, and I like their style of play, and I think they could beat Houston. And Houston just likes to choke. Michigan versus Texas Tech. I think this is going to be a stressful one for us Michigan fans. I do. I mean, we are favored heavily, but between JT Toppin and Christian Anderson, that's going to be a hard duo to stop. I'm a little worried about this one. 75 to 25. I think it should be closer than that. But I'm going to go Michigan, obviously. Michigan fan. I think we got it. Virginia, Iowa State. I got Virginia. I know that was a quick pick, but I got Virginia. The way they played against Duke the other night, and I watched that entire game, that just gives me a lot of faith in them. I know they lost, but it was a close game the entire game. Like they have a guy on the bench. Oh, I don't know what his name was, but he had like 8 blocks with like 10 minutes left, and he came off the bench. He had 2 blocks at halftime, and then he had 5 or 6 in the second half. It was actually insane. Me and my brother were losing our minds over it. All right, back up to the top in the East region. Duke versus UConn. Again, it's just who's gonna guard Cameron Boozer. I got Duke, and then I got Arizona. I don't see. I just don't see Gonzaga beating Arizona. I'm sorry. Let's go back down here to the South. Nebraska, Illinois. That's a crazy game. If I'm right about that and that happens, oh my gosh, it'd be nuts. Um, mm, every bone in my body wants to pick Illinois, but it's something about Nebraska, man. It's that hunch, you get that feeling, you get that tingle. You get that tingle in your balls, dude. No. Um, well, I'm gonna go Illinois. I'm gonna go Illinois simply because they have more experience versus ranked teams, and Nebraska versus ranked teams this year was not good, and they did not perform in the Big Ten tournament like they should have. So I'm going Illinois. Michigan, Virginia. I wonder who I'm gonna pick. Michigan. Come on, guys. I don't see Virginia beating Michigan. I don't see it. I just think we're too complete as a team. 70 to 30, 30 odds, though. That's interesting. All right, my final four, ladies and gentlemen. Duke versus Illinois. Arizona versus Michigan. I have Duke beating Illinois. No brainer. And then Michigan versus Arizona. Huge matchup. I have Michigan. No surprise. Yeah, I have faith in our team. I know we're losing LJ Kaysen. I know he's out, which makes it absolutely terrible. But I just like Michigan. I know I'm biased. I know. But when this team is hot, no one can beat them. If we were consistent and we were making our shots and we were making the extra pass, no one can beat us. And our defense is insane. We have the one of, if not the top defense in the nation. And then Duke versus Michigan in the title game. I got Michigan. I do. I just do. I just think Michigan's gonna throw it all. Oh, how many total points will be scored in the championship game? Hmm. 80 plus 80 is 160. I'm gonna go 164. I feel like that's fair. Submit my bracket. Um, for a second. Just for a second. Because I gotta put my stuff in. I don't want anybody seeing my stuff. All right, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to it. There it is. In this version of my bracket, I've already made three. I have Duke and Illinois, and then Arizona, Michigan, Final Four, and then I have Michigan winning it all. That's it, man. That's my champion is Michigan. Am I gonna pick Michigan in every bracket? Probably. Do I care? No. I just it's hard. Okay? It is very hard as a fan of a team to pick against your favorite team, you know? It's hard because you have such an emotional bias for them. It's just you don't want to pick against them, and it's completely understandable. I mean, if I was a Duke fan, I wouldn't want to pick against my Duke team. Like, look how good they are this year. A lot of it is very preference. Obviously, I'm a Big Ten advocate, but if LJ Kaysen wasn't injured and he was still coming off the bench, I would pick Michigan every single time, no matter what. The only reason I'm a little iffy about it is because he's not on the bench, so we don't really have too much guard depth. But I think we'll be okay. I do. I think Michigan. Did I just? There we go. Okay. I just. I think Michigan's got it, man. I do. I know it's biased, but I think. Okay. If I had to pick a couple other teams that have chances to win it all, I'm gonna say definitely Arizona, definitely Duke. I could see UConn. I could see Florida, obviously. I could see Gonzaga, Michigan State, maybe. I could see St. John's making a run. I'm a little scared about my BYU versus Gonzaga pick, but I don't know. Same with my Purdue, Missouri, and my Missouri, Miami. But yeah, I think Purdue could make a run. Texas Tech could definitely make a run. Virginia, I like my pick there. I think those are solid picks. Iowa State, questionable. Illinois could definitely make a run. Nebraska could definitely make a run. Vanderbilt could definitely make a run. Michigan State obviously could make a run. Kansas could make a run. Like, there's a lot of Wisconsin could make a run. Like, seriously, Arkansas can. There's a lot of teams this year I feel like could definitely make a run. Like, I feel like it's not one team that stands out. I feel like there's a lot of good teams. But who knows? Starts this Thursday. I'm so pumped. I get out of class right when these games start, so I know what I'm doing all day. I'm watching all of these games because I don't start my new job for until next week, so it's like it's pretty lit. But yeah, I think Michigan's got it, man. I think. Hmm, should I just make a fun bracket real quick? Just like a goofy one. Let me. Okay, we're gonna make a weird bracket real quick. We're gonna make a goofy one, but kind of serious, but kind of goofy. Okay, Duke, yes. Arizona, yes. I'm gonna pick TCU this time. I'm gonna pick Utah State, Wisconsin, St. John's, uh, California Baptist, South Florida, Arkansas, BYU, Gonzaga. Yep. I'm picking North Dakota. This is just goofy, guys. This is just all for fun. UCLA versus UCF. I'm gonna pick UCLA. Furman. It's gonna beat UConn. Missouri. Purdue. Michigan. Georgia. No, St. Louis this time. Uh, Akron's gonna beat Texas Tech. Alabama. Miami, Ohio, SMU. Virginia. Iowa State. Houston. St. Mary's. Illinois. I'm gonna go North Carolina this time. I'm gonna pick Troy to beat Nebraska. McNeese to beat Vanderbilt. Iowa still. I'm still gonna pick Florida. Okay, this is just all for jokes. This is a complete joke bracket. We're messing around. Duke, St. John's, Arizona State's gonna beat them. Arkansas is gonna beat them. South Florida versus North Dakota State. South Florida, baby. UCLA versus Furman. Furman. BYU versus Gonzaga. BYU. Missouri versus Purdue. Purdue. Michigan versus St. Louis. Michigan. Florida versus Iowa. Florida. McNeese versus Troy. McNeese. Akron versus Bama. Bama. Miami, Ohio. Please, Miami, Ohio, please win. Oh, I didn't pick Kentucky. Santa Clara versus then Iowa State, and then St. Mary's versus Houston. We're gonna go Houston. Illinois versus North Carolina. North Carolina. Houston's gonna win this time. Miami, Ohio is going to the Elite Eight. Michigan versus Bama. Michigan. Florida versus McNeese. Florida. I'm kind of taking it serious, but then I'm not. Duke's no. St. John's gonna win that. Arizona's gonna win that. BYU. South Florida. Michigan versus Miami, Ohio. Florida, then Michigan, and then St. John's, then Arizona. Arizona's gonna beat us. St. John's is gonna beat Florida, and then it's gonna be 172 Arizona. So I just made this kind of fun. This is a fun bracket. This was just kind of a messing around, just throwing it up in the air. It's kind of fun. Watch this. Watch this one be the right one, by the way. Watch this bracket be the right one, guys. That'd be kind of funny. Oh shoot. So I have okay. So is this my first bracket that I made? Oh yeah. This was my bracket that I kind of for real made on my phone when it first this is the first bracket. First came out. I was like, all right, gotta get it made. I have Michigan beating Duke and the Natty. My final four is Gonzaga versus Michigan and then Duke versus Florida. Still had Missouri upsetting. I had Gonzaga beating Wisconsin. I had Wisconsin beating Arizona. I'm not too mad about this one. This bracket's not bad. It's a little questionable because a lot of high seeds, but oh well, what can you do? I like that one. It says I made three brackets, but I haven't. Yeah, this one I haven't made this one yet. That one I might take a little bit more serious, but I might make it a little fun just because of upsets and stuff. But we'll see. I'm so excited though. I'm so ready for March Madness. I'm so ready. I cannot wait. Oh, and then tomorrow night, USA versus the winner of Venezuela and Italy. I kind of hope we get Italy just to get our get back, but I wouldn't mind either team. Last night was a little questionable, but I'm gonna go full into that probably Wednesday because that's after the championship. So I'll go in depth on Wednesday. But all right, we're at 40, almost 46 minutes. Jeez, that was a long one. I didn't realize I was talking that long. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. Go Michigan, go Blue. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, boys.